Okay, say when. Hi everyone, welcome to the Daily Brew, Montebello, California for this, the Pete Gonzalez Montebello Oilers football show. It's always an exciting show. We're here with the coach himself in his 7th year at the helm of the Oilers, arguably his best year ever, because he's fresh off a victory over a tough Bell Gardens team. Now they're 8-1, and the Oilers have run the table in the Altmont League. A perfect 4-0 record made better, coach, and the applause will come in a moment. Another league title, 3 in a row. How about that? Coach Pete, put it there. Now tell us about Bell Gardens. You beat them 3 years straight, but they are never easy to take on, and even more so at their home field. Isn't that correct?
Oh yeah, they're always a tough opponent for us. They play really hard. They have a lot of the same kids we have. They all know each other, and they, they're really aggressive. They play hard. They coach well, so it's always a good test, always a good battle. But in the end, we played a good game and came out victorious.
Right. Okay. And I believe it was a 17-point victory, but you came from behind. Wonderful comebacks, 14-3, 20-10, and that really made the difference. Plus, right at the end of the half, you were able to go into halftime there and really change the momentum, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we changed it. We scored at the end and took the lead 27-26. And again, I think we're a second half team. The great thing about our football team is we're really patient. We don't panic, and we have a great balance. So we all rely on each other, and it was just one of those games where we took our time and things worked out well. And we played a good second quarter, and then we played a great second half.
All right. So that victory over Bell Gardens means, again, setting up this week, Friday, a game with Alhambra, and with a W there against Alhambra, Coach, you'll have an outright Altmont League title. 2 more important statistics. I don't mean to wear you out with numbers, but again, that would be your 3rd straight outright. And you guys have not lost a league game for 4 years. I mean, you guys are just running through league opponents, and the other team has to start thinking, oh no, here come the Oilers again.
Yeah, we've been really lucky and blessed, and again, the boys play the game, and they've been doing a fantastic job, and everything we're instilling, they're doing well with it, and again, they understand the importance of every game, and for the first time, the school history will be consecutive league champs for 3 years, and hopefully we're shooting for a 15-0 mark. The previous record was 13 consecutive league wins. We at least have 14 at this point. So we'll continue to play, for the right reasons, and again, if these other things fall in place, that's great.
Rewriting the record book, that's what's happening now in the Pete Gonzalez era. Now, Pete, if you could introduce these, again, handsome players, good-looking guys. I know you can't tell them that in practice, but we can be friendly to them here. And they deserve it. And tell us who's with us, because we're going to now ask them a few questions.
Okay. Our defensive player and linebacker, Jonathan Olguin. Our lineman of the week and center, Carlos Gomez. Offensive player of the week, Ryan Rivera.
Why don't we get Ryan out of the way first, because he donated a camera to our broadcast situation here. Ours went dead. We're not ESPN, but still your camera and your strong arm, over 400 yards passing, this is the go-to guy, right? Right. He's also an old pro on this show. He's been on now 3 times. Ryan, what were your thought processing going into the game with Bell Gardens? You've been there before, you've gone up against that team, but it's a hostile environment down there, isn't there? I mean, the fans are all over you, and somehow you made it work, and you came out with a victory, and, as I noted, over 400 yards passing. So some of your observations of that ball game Friday.
Well, it came down to where the defense is going to be and where our guys are going to be. Our receivers open all night. Our line had good blocking, and we just picked for the defense and continue to do that throughout the game.
All right, yeah, one of your great receivers. He's in the newspaper here. It's Jose, and look at his shot. Can you get a kind of a close-up on that one? He looks like he's doing the bump out there. He doesn't look like he's playing football. What a shot. And he was one of your top guys to get the job done, right?
Yeah, Jose has great hands and great observation to where the guys are going to be in the field, to where to be, where me and him have a good chemistry, his speed and running with the ball.
Excellent. Okay, now let's switch over to defense, because we like to spend a lot of time on the Pete Gonzalez show, giving credit to the Big D. I don't mean Dallas, I'm talking about defense coach. And I just want a couple words from you about, again, your outstanding coaching staff and Coach Zavala, who gets the defense ready. And I'm going to ask the same thing just in a minute of John. So
yeah, I think all our coaches are fantastic. And again, we have a great balance of coaches. And Brian runs our defense and does a great job and gets these guys ready to play. Again, they got to go out and play the game, so you know it's on them to play the game. But as far as our preparation, you know, second to none, offensively, defensively, and a complete game.
All right. So how about that, John? Your defense, like it is on many levels of football, overlooked. But again, without that good defense to neutralize Bell Gardens, we wouldn't be sitting here laughing and cheering and talking about a 4-0 league mark, right? And you can go ahead and talk about how great your defense is, even though I know you're a humble guy. But go ahead and tell us how important they are.
I mean, it's important. Every team has a defense, and I just got to thank the offense Friday night, or probably every single game, for putting up the points. And the defense, we always have to start off fast, otherwise if we don't, then I don't know who's going to be there.
All right, typical humble guy. He's trying to give me credit over to the offense. I did all I could to pull it out of them, right? To get the defense credit. But they are good, humble guys on the line, and you know that, Coach, and you're pretty proud of that.
Oh, I'm very proud. I'm proud of their efforts. Again, you know, John's a big part of it. We have a great defensive players that play well together, and we really feed off each other. We know we have to score. We know we have to hold them. So it's one of those games. We had over 600 yards of offense, but the defense had 2 interceptions. They were holding them down. You know, they were doing their part. So it's a combination of things, and again, just a combination of great players and great kids.
And Coach, you keep scoring in bunches. I don't think you've had a game this year. I'm taking away that game at Lancaster, obviously. We won't talk about that. But no game under 36 points this year, and that was a 37-21 win over Bell Garden. So offensive powerhouse, and it continues on.
Yeah, it's great. It was a 49-32 win over Bell Garden. So
I'm sorry, I was giving you the old Alhambra. 49, right?
Yeah, a 17-point win, and we're proud of that.
I bet you are.
You know, that's our closest game in the league so far. You know, so we'll hopefully continue to hold people down and continue to score points. You know, and hopefully the kids continue to work, and we understand it's one step at a time. And you know, we need to close out our league and hopefully, you know, a league title and just kind of go from there. All
right, the league title outright, Carlos, is up against a very tough Alhambra team. And you know you guys are thinking possibly playoffs. You cannot forget Alhambra. You have to be focused this Friday night, right?
Yes, sir. Well, we got to take every game one by one. And this week's Alhambra. And to make sure we get a league title this year and we finish on league 5-0, we got to focus on them first, and then playoffs just come little by little.
All right, how about that, Coach? Keys to victory, if you will, for this Friday. And again, how do you avoid overlooking that? You know you're in the playoffs no matter what, but there is that other very important historical attribute to talk about, getting your 3rd straight outright title, right? That comes into play.
It comes into play. Again, we're gonna focus on the balance of our offense, defense, and special teams. So, you know, it's a complete balance. And then again, the hard work that's involved and all the hard work our coaches put in their preparation and making sure our players are prepared. So it's a combination of things, but again, we know what we're playing for. You know, we have to go out and play the game and perform. So it's, you know, the guys got to do it. But again, we've made it very clear the expectations. This is one of our expectations before the season, and hopefully we can continue it on Friday and get a victory.
All right, how about it, John? How do you feel about this Friday in Alhambra?
Excited.
I like that. If we have guys like that, then you don't need a show anymore. But I like that, short and sweet. Okay, in a word, same thing for you, Carlos. I think you just answered it a moment ago. But again, how do you avoid overlooking Alhambra when you know you got playoffs coming just a week later on the 13th?
Well, you know, you can't take any team lightly no more. So you got to go out there, do what we've been taught, and hopefully get that win.
All right. And Ryan, this 8-1 mark is not a fluke, right? It's 4-0. It's not because the other team just rolled over. They've been tough games no matter what. And you came off the field, you're feeling the aches and pains and everything else. It wasn't just a walk in the park, right? And it's not going to be easy, necessarily easy, on Friday, right?
Oh, no, of course not. Of course, they're going to come out to play and fight hard, but we're just going to fight harder.
All right. Coach, can you name your assistant coaches? Because those guys are doing great work, yeoman's work. And before the year is out, I'll have them all come up here, crowd this area, get a shot of them. But start with Coach Zavala, a little bit of information on each
Our
one.
defense is Coach Zavala, so he's our defensive coordinator, linebacker coach. We have another linebacker coach, Coach Harlan. So he has a great background. Our defensive line coach is Coach Jerry Chow. Our defensive end coach is Coach Butch Rodriguez. Our DB coaches are Coach Alfred Gomez, Coach Derek Gomez. Our kicking coach, Coach Bruce Crow. Our offensive coordinator is Peter Gonzalez. Our running back coach is Coach Johnny Macias. Our wide receiver coach is Coach Andrew Arroyo. Our offensive line coach is Coach Ish Favela. Another line coach, Coach Carlos Marchena. Whenever I'm missing anybody.
Well, let's just say
Robert.
you've acknowledged everyone. Right.
Yeah, and Robert. We have one more wide receiver coach, and other than that, we have a lot of coaches. We have 14 coaches, so we have a lot of coaches that help out. We're really blessed and lucky to have so many coaches. We do coach one side of the ball, so we really get hands-on with all the players. But I do want to take a moment to, and haven't really got a chance to do that, but to thank Mr. and Mrs. Bustamante, how they're here every week
All
for
the
us.
way.
Always bringing us here.
In fact, now he does. Ray's like your team historian, providing all this memorabilia from the history of Montebello Oilers, but he's always overloading me with stats, so I sound a lot more smarter than I am. So thank you to both the Bustamantes, and they provided the meal today. They fed us. One more congrats to them.
I want to add something. That was the most points that any Warrior team has scored against Guardians. Previously, 72, we scored 47, and I think 2005 we scored 45. So that was the highest.
All right.
And this is the 8th time Warriors have beat Bell Gardens.
Incredible.
For first place.
24 years in the Altmont League, and you've gone to the playoffs 17 times and beaten Bell Gardens 3 straight, right? Great, but this one was the most points ever. And for our people watching in that didn't quite hear that, some more records added to the Oiler record book.
Well, yeah, the most yards ever in a game for Montebello history was this game. Offensive yards, 632 offensive yards against Bell Gardens. So, something where it's great to play against a rival school like that and having the yards up. So again, it was a collective effort from everybody, and I'm really proud of the efforts of all our
Fantastic. And I want to add this applause line for those assistant coaches that Coach named so beautifully. He must have done well in school memorization. I told them there'd be no trick questions this year. So thanks, you did well. Let's hear it. Ray is a font of information. I can't do wrong. So again, thank you for acknowledging him. Okay, Coach, you've got Friday at Alhambra, trying to get a perfect, again, league mark, and that would be another outright straight Altmont League title. So we wish you the best. Thanks for coming by. The rain is starting to fall, the El Nino, but I think the real El Nino will be felt by Alhambra and the playoff opponent. The El Nino Oilers. Okay, and thank you for coming in. You guys are great, Carlos, and then Ryan, of course, for your great job you've done. And oh yes, Mr. Bustamante.
Yes, now it's going around all over the internet. He is Coach 3-Pete Gonzalez.
I like it. Coach 3-Pete Gonzalez. He's my guy. Anytime I go into a rough part of town, a rough neighborhood, I want him with me. Anytime. Okay, for the gang, Bustamantes, the outstanding coaching staff. Of course, thank you, Terry, and the ownership here at the Daily Brew who makes it possible. Looking forward to the Friday game, Alhambra, to get that perfect league mark, and then the playoffs begin. We're back here next Monday, so don't forget to check us out here at the Daily Brew, a great place to hang out, and we'll be here next Monday as a playoff preview broadcast. That's going to be a highly rated one. Maybe not as big as Who Shot JR, but we're going to work on that. So for everybody, and of course for Coach Gonzalez, I'm Ronnie Wald. Until next time, all I can say is what I always say: Go Oilers!